Hi folks, my name is Mitch, aka M177A in game and also on Reddit, here to provide another carry offer for those who need or want it. This is for the Shadows of Ruination event that we currently have going on right now in the game. I do have to give everyone a fair warning that this is not the most efficient carry, let alone it's not going to be 100% foolproof. The main thing about this boss is that it's a terrible boss. The fact is, the second round of the fight, the random berserks that it throws out can really screw up the game. So it's an RNG effect. You can't really do anything about berserk at all, especially if you're just using one unit to carry you through the trial. And it's just a very large pain. Plus, added on with the massive amount of defense and spirit that the second version, the Awakened Hasiko, gets in the second fight is just it's overkill. A lot of people having difficulty with this event. I had difficulty myself, but in terms of trying to solo it in general, I did come up with a little bit of a solution. So with that being said, let's just check out the gear loadout. Now Kryla is built with a massive amount of HP, as much defense and spirit as I can muster out. She actually doesn't have her own TMR equipped. She has a lot of STMRs on, just for the fact that these are there to provide stats, hairpin of purity, to provide the resistance to all of the statuses, and concealing cloth is going to be our bread and butter here. It's going to allow her to cast her skills and regen HP and MP if things get a little rough. Everything else is here to just kind of give her more HP, more spirit, more defense, as much as I can possibly get on her. The other unit is just here to really summon the Esper. Ace is actually going to be used to be, he's just going to be sacrificed in order to fill the limit burst. Oh, sorry, not the limit burst, but the Esper gauge. He has status resistance because the preemptive attack will do a lot of damage. Well, it'll mess up your team up really well, really good, especially if you are not immune to a lot of the ailments that it can cast. And I'm also bringing a friend unit. Any friend unit that has decent enough stats to survive the first hit, they're not going to be used for the rest of the fight. I'm just going to be there to summon the Esper and get that mission requirement out of the way. If you really want to use my Kryla, I definitely suggest you bring a full team with you. Use Kryla as a breaker, and I'll be going through what you really need to do to utilize her, especially during the first few rounds, where it can really change the tide if you break the boss earlier on in the fight. But if you don't have a full team, or if you don't have a strong set of units, if you're a really new player, then feel free to use my Kryla. However, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to be needing to repeat the fight a couple of times and hope that RNG is on your side. So there's the spirit burn, all the MP, HP, pretty much everything's getting drained here. So again, Ace is just there to sacrifice himself. Any FF type 0 unit at level 110 or higher has this skill, just to summon the Esper, or fill the Esper bar. This unit here, the friend unit with the status resistance, is there just to summon the Esper. Now, Kryla should take a pretty significant amount of damage in terms of drainage. However, if she has any MP left over and you really want to use her for your team to take on the boss itself, what you want to do is you want to start off with Witchcraft and then follow up with Attack and Magic. Once you break those stats, Hasiko's damage becomes very minimal. You don't have to worry about it. There's nothing to fear. These breaks last 5 turns, and it's more than sufficient to prevent a lot of damage from coming your way to your team. So use her as a breaker. That's going to be your unit. Everybody else can fulfill the roles of tank and healer and DPS and so on and so forth. But if you're going to be using Kryla as the solo carry unit, the first round what you're going to do is you're going to hide. And that unit there is going to die. And we're waiting to come back on turn 5 or turn 6. Kryla could come back on turn 4. If that's the case, then we just need to hide again. Alright, so turn 5. I'm just going to pause it real quick. And I'm back. Sorry about that, I had to take care of something. So, on turn 5, the Impending Doom skill is not available yet. It's on a 6-turn cooldown, but that's fine because we're going to be using that next. What you want to do is you want to hit Witchcraft, and you want to hit Attack and Magic to break the boss's stats. This way Kryla will take very minimal damage, if any at all. And we don't have to worry about what the boss is resistant to, just because we're going to be using Kryla's dot mechanic. It's very unique, and it goes through any type of resistances. So that's something to take into consideration for future fights as well. Alright, after you use Impending Doom, Eye of Doom will be available to use. Just hit the boss with Eye of Doom. And then after the boss's turn is over, then it'll take about 10% HP off of its off of the total HP, and just repeat it. So whenever you use Impending Doom, you can use Eye of Doom twice. So you basically essentially need to do 5 sets of Impending Doom in order to defeat this boss during this round. This round is, you don't have to worry about it at all. So once the skill is cast, it's on a 3-turn cooldown. You need to hide again, come back, and just repeat the process. This will allow Kryla to gain that MP. It can be a little bit mana intensive depending on how the turns fall, just because Hasiko has a tendency to do some crazy drains, especially if the stats are not broken. So again, break the attack, break the magic. Next turn, hit Hasiko with Impending Doom. And then the turn after that, it's Eye of Doom, and then Eye of Doom again, and then hide, and then repeat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump ahead. I'm going to pause the video and then kind of skip ahead all the way to the end, and carry on with the, or continue with the carry after that. Hi guys, I'm back. Okay, so we have Hasiko down to 20%. And I did forget to mention earlier that if you're trying to fill up your esper gauge the long way, which I also highly do not recommend, you can break the boss's stats, the attack and the magic, and just have Kryla do an auto attack. This will eventually generate enough esper orbs to do the summon. I do not recommend doing this in the second round. Just do this in the first round. It's the safest bet, but it will take you a very, very, very long time. Highly not recommended. If you are using your team to basically take her out, using Kryla as a breaker, I do want to show you a different type of break that Kryla does have. So the Jinx breaks are for 5 turns. And if, amazingly enough, you do have HP or MP left over, and you can get Dark Anathema off, 90 MP, it will give you the ability to break the boss's stats as well for 3 turns, but you don't have to use any MP to do so. So right here, it'll give you the ability to use Witchcraft Plus And this anti-offense pot right here requires 0 MP, but it'll take half of your limit burst gauge. So just in case for any reason whatsoever, if Kryla's MP is just gone completely and you were able to cast that off previously and you need to apply breaks desperately, or Hasiko's just going to go AWOL on you, what you can do is you can just use that skill and then apply a new break and you'll be good for 3 turns to recover. We're not going to do that just because we don't need to. I want to kind of move on to the next phase. We're going to be doing that pretty soon. And we don't need any MP going on to the next fight. We want to have as much HP as we can get, just because the first round is a very painful round in the next phase, and I'll show you why soon enough. That's where the mechanical heart comes into play. So we can do Eye of Doom. After this, Hasiko should be dead, and we should be okay. If it doesn't work out that way, then that's also fine. We'll just go hide again, and then we'll just repeat the process. Perfect. We're going into the next round with a full health bar. Okay, so the next round is a little tricky. This requires a lot of RNG to be on your side. The boss will hit you with a berserk. You can't do anything for the first 2 turns because of that preemptive. And then what needs to happen now is Kryla needs to survive the next onslaught. Hasiko has a set number of skills, and all of them have a different percentage of hitting. If you're bad at, if your luck is really bad, Kryla is going to take a lot of damage. Like you saw right there, she took 6k damage, 7k damage from 1 hit. And the biggest problem with that is that if the boss decides to throw 3 of them at Kryla, the game is over. You have to restart, there goes 40 energy. There's not much I can do in regards to that to set Kryla up to survive such a hit, just because I don't have the capabilities to do so, and no one can resist Berserk at this time. So, what we're going to do again is we're going to go hide. If you're in this spot, in this situation right here, where your team gets zapped again, you need some type of MP battery to basically allow Kryla to have the capability to at least have enough MP to do the attack and magic. If you can do the attack and magic, then you should be able to survive the next phases and continue on the fight. However, since at this point in time I don't have enough, it's going to be up to your team to keep everybody alive at that point. Maybe you can possibly use an item like an elixir just to regain some MP to her. If you can use an elixir with one of your units, then what you can do is you can use Calamity Brew on Kryla, and then use Calamity Brew on the units. Sorry, if you use elixir to recover MP on Kryla, then use Calamity Brew to break the entire stats of all the units here, and that'll get you rolling again. If you're just using Kryla to do some damage, what we're going to do is we're going to hide, and we need to hide to the point where we restore the MP to its max. We're going to target one of the spirits, and we're going to take it out. And the reason why we need to take out these spirits first is because they will heal Hasiko, and it'll just prolong the fight. So this time around, we're going to hit them up with Calamity Brew. This will break all of the stats for all the units, or all the enemies. So you won't be taking much damage at all. And then what we're going to do is use Impending Doom. And it's the same idea. This time we're just taking out the spirits. And then we're going to do Eye of Doom on Spirit B, because I use Eye of Doom on Spirit B. Doesn't matter what you do, because if you do Spirit A, Spirit B, it's all the same. Just make sure that you use Impending Doom on the same unit that you're going to be using Eye of Doom on. Spirit B will die, and we are going to go back into hiding. And we basically need Calamity Brew to come back. So Calamity Brew, the breaks only last for 3 turns. And that's not long enough to keep Kryla alive during the next phase. At around turn, I can't remember, turn 15 or turn 18 or something like that, the other spirit will sacrifice itself, and then Awakened Hasiko will go into rage mode twice because both of the spirits are dead. And you'll be able to survive the onslaught if you break the stats again. That's where Calamity Brew comes into play. So there's a sacrifice. There's the I will destroy you. And as you see, Kryla's HP took a big chunk of damage. Over 12k damage, well, about 12k damage. That's with the breaks on there. If you don't have any breaks on there, then that sacrifice on the other unit will kill Kryla instantly. It's one-shotter. What we need to do is we need to hide again. And then we'll start the fight up until 50%. That's where the main annoying part comes in. We don't need full HP on this. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be continuing on the same exact pattern as we did before from the last round. We're going to be breaking the attack and magic. You do need full HP, or at least as much as possible, because this version tends to try to sap you out a lot more than the previous one. So we're going to be Impending Doom again. And then Eye of Doom twice, and then hide. So this version has 10 million HP more than the previous one. One Eye of Doom will take the boss down to 6%, about down 6%. So a set of Eye of Dooms will take the boss down about 12% total, instead of 20% from the previous round. So we are going to hide again, and just repeat the process like the last fight. And don't worry about the turn count. The turn count is just due to the fact that we're hiding a lot. So the fight itself doesn't last too long as RNG is in your favor. If not, then you'll either die before taking an hour and long in this fight, or you'll win, hopefully. So again, we're going to do the same exact thing. If you don't know if the boss is broken, just click and hold onto the boss. Trying to do so, but it's not working. You can see from the icon on top already, so it's fine. Sorry, tried to show something off, but that didn't work. I'm gonna hit Impending Doom. And then I am Doom twice. Okay, I'm gonna pause the video after this little set is over. I'm gonna come back at right before the 50% mark. Alright guys, I'm back. And we are getting close to the 50% mark. So we are about to do our next set. And there's a couple of things that I want to kind of stress out here. At 50%, Hasiko starts to throw out a random amount of Berserk. And as far as I know, no one is immune to Berserk. So the problem with that is that it's a one-turn Berserk, so it's not too bad. However, there's a chance of Hasiko throwing it out several times in a row during her set. She has the 10% chance of casting it. However, it just seems like it's a lot more than just 10%. You'll see what I mean soon enough. We just broke the boss, so what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be using Impending Doom. And then the Eye of Doom will be bringing Hasiko down below the 50% threshold. And rather than using 2 Eye of Dooms, I'm going to be showing you something that I would strongly suggest you do, especially if you're just using Kryla for carry. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to be hiding again. The reason why we're hiding is because the breaks only last 5 turns. We don't want to use another Eye of Doom because that'll be the 3rd turn. If Kryla gets Berserk for more than 2 rounds, then she's going to be taking maximum damage and the game can end very quickly. So the safest route that I strongly believe that you can do is go hide 47% or less than 50% at this point. You're going to be hitting Witchcraft and attack and magic and hope that she doesn't go into crazy Berserk rage. So Deadly Cursed Mind is a skill that's automatically cast at 50%, and that's the thing that causes Kryla to go in Berserk. You can't do anything at that point. So now Hasiko has a 10% chance of casting it again in her entire set. So there's Deadly Cursed Mind. So now we are in Berserk mode again. We can't do anything at this point. And we're just hoping that the breaks that we apply to Hasiko will last longer than how long Kryla will be in Berserk mode. Looks like we survived. We're good. We won't have to worry about staying in Berserk. We get Kryla back. We're at 469 MP. We should be okay as long as we don't go through another Berserk session. So we need to reapply the brakes. We can't do Impending Doom because the brakes will be wearing off soon enough. And in order for her to... Oh, there's Cursed Mind. So as long as it's just one Cursed Mind, then you should be fine. And what I mean by that is that once you apply the brakes, if you get hit by Cursed Mind, then you should be okay as long as you don't get hit by a second Cursed Mind. And it looks like we are okay. We didn't get hit by a second one. So now we can hit Impending Doom. And then hope that we don't get hit with Cursed Mind again. And we just did. So this is why the boss fight will last forever. Because if you go through this session here and Hasiko is just throwing out Cursed Mind every other turn, you're never going to be able to do any damage to her. And the fight will last indefinitely. So now at this point in time, we're going to go back in hiding because Impending Doom is no longer available. We don't want to use Eye of Doom at this point in time because if she goes through another Cursed Mind session, there's a high possibility of her actually taking full hit, full damage, and then dying after that. So we need to basically refresh our MP. We need to reapply the brakes, and then we need to hope that Hasiko does not put Kryla through another torturous long session of Berserk. And just remember that deadly cursed mine is a 10% chance of activating, which I strongly believe that is not true. It's more like 50% or higher. Okay, so we're gonna try Impending Doom one more time, and then hopefully we don't get hit by Cursed Mine. And we got hit by Cursed Mine. Great. So now we have to do that all over again. And as you see in the turn count, it just basically keeps going up until you get a free opening. So Kryla's gonna do an auto attack after this. And from what I believe, I think the brakes are gonna wear off, which is gonna be very problematic. Okay, so we have one more round of brakes, so we're okay. We're still alive. But she got hit by Cursed Mine again. So now the brakes are going to wear off, and if we get hit by 2 rounds of Cursed Mine, we're screwed. Okay, we're good. So now we have full MP, so we don't need to go hide again. Impending Doom, well, actually we do, because Impending Doom is not ready. So now it's turn 80. Hasiko's HP didn't move at all, unfortunately. And this is why this particular fight is very painful. The mana drain alone is highly annoying, but throwing in with the Berserk makes this fight virtually pretty much uncarryable, and that's even a word. But it's doable. It's just if you have the patience to do so, and you really want that the accessory, then you're gonna have to go through this. So we lucked out. We were able to break the boss. We were able to do Impending Doom, and now we're able to use Eye of Doom. And now the HP will go down by 6%. So we are actually able to do it again. I do not recommend doing it again. And the reason why is because we're getting close to the end of the 5-turn cycle for the breaks. If you take a chance on that, then that's really up to you. However, if you get thrown into a Cursed Mine session for 3 turns, 4 turns, possibly even 5 turns, there's a high possibility of the game ending because Kryla won't survive that. Okay, looks like we lucked out a second time. So now boss's HP will be down to 35%. I'm going to take a chance and hope that I didn't get screwed over right now. Okay, we are good. So now that we use Impending Doom twice, we definitely need to hide. I'm not going to take any chances. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to come back when Hasiko's HP is a lot lower, maybe down to about 1 session left. Just check out the turn count. This is turn 101, and let's see how long it takes me to get her down to like 5% or so. And I'm back. So it took about 60 turns of hiding, of dealing with Berserk, and so on and so forth, repeating the process to bring Hasiko down to 5%. We're at the final part now, and I'm just getting ready to break, and hopefully Hasiko doesn't throw out the deadly cursed mind, and we can get this trial completed. So far so good. As long as I don't get I spoke too soon. So we have one more turn for deadly for Eye of Doom to still be active. Whenever you use Impending Doom, Eye of Doom will stay active for 2 turns. There goes 1 turn because of the Cursed Mind. And there goes our chance, so we have to repeat the process. This is why the boss fight is very, 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 very painful. Highly recommend bring a full team and just go and nuke the boss. Use Kryla to debuff, or sorry, not to debuff, but to break, and you'll have a whole lot. You'll save a lot of your hair, basically. So the boss's HP is just pretty much ready to drop, but the boss is not going to go down without a crazy long, drawn-out fight. Okay, so far so good. Holy jeez. Okay, we got one more turn. Okay, looks like we're good. That should do it. Yes, we are able to use Eye of Doom. That'll take care of Hasiko. We are okay. We don't have to worry about the brakes wearing off at that point. We don't care about her being berserked at that spot. And there you go. So didn't use any limit burst at that point. Didn't summon an esper, of course, with the sacrifice of Ace and also the friend unit. If you would like to use Kryla to break the boss, or just use her in general just to carry, feel free to leave your ID code on the bottom below. I'll send you out an invite. I'll also be posting this information up on Reddit and also on Facebook. So hopefully you have better RNG than I do. And thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.